So I want to go back to picture stories today. I've still got a few more food episodes. I'll be doing a bit more Chinese food before we move on to the next subject. I have a new documentary coming out actually next Friday. So we'll finish off the food and then we'll get on to the new documentary which is shot in Africa. But right now I've gone back to the picture archive. I just want to do one quick story from that archive, which is looking at some of my time working for a golf magazine. This is back in the 1990s. Things were very different. This is a story about golf in inner city Sheffield. It was part of a glossy sports magazine, golf magazine, all in colour. And I remember having this discussion with the editor when I was given the assignment, asking if it was possible to shoot this in black and white, because I thought it just might lend itself really nicely to it. He wanted something quite gritty, something sort of inner city, something that was in contrast to the rest of the magazine. So this is the feature that came out. I've got, I think, about 5 pages. There we go. So a couple of pages like this, and then I think there was one final page over here, and you can see the images they chose. Now, back in those days, if I close that down and I go over to the contact sheets here, or the images, this is all shot on film, of course, back in these days. It's before digital cameras became good enough to shoot for magazines. The magazine is colour. Let's go back again. You can see. Let me just sort of bring up, give you a sort of sense. I think this was the cover image for the magazine that the pictures appeared in, and as you can see, very sort of glossy and all about good living, and certainly nothing like the kind of images that I was getting here. So my normal way of working was just having just a bunch of films in my pocket. In this case, just one camera. I was using a Contax G2 at the time, which allowed me to sort of get quite intimate with the subjects, being quite close. You'll see there's no real long shots here, and I had a selection of lenses. I think the longest though was about an 85. I was using mainly a 35 and a 21 if I remember correctly. Now if we go through these, you can see the way I was working. I find a subject like this and I shoot just a number of frames on it. And I would sort of try and get to know the characters, trying to get them used to me being around. I think we were there for a day with a writer, and shoot as we go. So these kind of images worked really well. It kind of helped tell my story. Kids messing around on the greens or playing golf but enjoying it. And then we had this fantastic title about nothing gets nicked around here. You can see some of my exposures weren't perfect, missed it a couple of times. And I also wanted to incorporate something of the city, so in bringing the tram in and the kids getting on the tram and getting off with their golf clubs. Okay, that's about it. I do have another story that I was going to tell today which led me to this, from the same magazine where things went completely wrong. It was in the day of transparencies where you didn't have a choice. You had to get it right. There was no second opportunity. Exposure had to be right. Any kind of balancing of sky and foreground all had to be done in camera, and it went epically wrong, and I found some of those images. I couldn't find the cover, but I have found it since, but by that time I'd already got this up. So I'm going to be sort of just finishing up the food next week, some more food episodes, and then we'll move into this documentary I shot in Africa, talk a little bit about that for a couple of weeks, and then we'll try and get back into this regular look at the archive. Okay, that's it today.